What is up, my dudes? We've got the Corporate Esports Association Dota 2 Spring 2019 tournament going on. Today we've got NVIDIA representing NVIDIA and Google Team Dendiate, also known as the DIE right now. Didn't fill in the team name there. So Google Team Dendiate representing Google, one of the 5 Google teams. I believe they're Google Team C, so middle of the pack, I would assume. So let's get into the draft. We've got this PA ban first. PA is a pretty good hero still, even after the repeated nerfs. Wraith ban got nerfed pretty hard when she was top of the meta. Just pick up 4 Wraith bans and just instantly slay everyone. Since then, crits have gone down early on. They used to be 250% a long time ago, but now the 210% crits don't feel as strong. Google going into reserve time on the first pick already, so maybe not discussing the draft before it starts. This PA ban shouldn't be raising any question marks. I believe this is being played on 7.21c, so a bit of an older patch by now. Yeah, Ursa ban coming out from Team Google. Yeah, very strong hero right now. Just feels pretty hard to kill with that rage, especially when he gets level 25 for that 80% status resistance. It was pretty hard to kill. Silencer coming out of NVIDIA, so maybe a bit of a specialty ban here. Silencer just feels pretty awful. They increased the mana cost on all of his spells early on, so he only cast a few arcane curses before he runs out of mana, and they all cost a lot of mana as well. Even Silencer's big intellect. But the Global Silence, still a really good spell, but the rest of Silencer kind of sucks. So it's
5 seconds.
I see it that often. Even Google does have a Silencer spammer. Punch coming out as a ban from Google, so maybe also doing their own research on NVIDIA. Probably that over time in that first pick there, looking up the Dota buff accounts of all the team of NVIDIA, trying to scout out what they play, and they found a Pudge player there, and a Pudge ban coming out.
10 seconds to pick. Dire's ban.
OD coming out of NVIDIA, so I don't know if this is a good ban. OD can be countered in lane by a few heroes. He does well usually, but you can really hard counter the OD with like a Pugna, for example. It's a pretty hard counters to OD. So you don't normally see OD pick this early. If you're gonna pick him, maybe in this like second position where you get to ban the Pugna right afterwards. PL ban coming out of Team Google. Kind of on the fence with PL. He just feels like a little bit greedy. You can start fighting once you get the Diffusal Blade, which is early on, but you really want that heart afterwards for that tankiness, because Lucian is so difficult to kill. And just overall being a nuisance. Use that doppelganger to get some invincibility to regen. Warlock coming out of NVIDIA. Well, they've already indicated that they want to go for strong team fight. Warlock with the Chaos Golem, pretty good spell. Suffered a similar problem to what Silencer had. His Fatal Shadow Word, the mana cost went up by a lot, and he just kind of fell out. He can only cast like 2 Shadow Words or something really low before he runs out of mana. Oracle coming out from Team Google. If this is being played, I have on 7.21c. I haven't confirmed this yet, so we'll just look at Oracle's False Promise later. But Oracle was probably the MVP of the most recent major, the Starlighter major. Just that save is so ridiculous, and once he hits level 3, he gets so much burst damage. Fortune's End does 140 damage at level, something ridiculous like that. And then you get that Purifying Flames at level 2 for the 180 nuke. So drop a Purifying Flames, use the Fortune's End, and then drop another Purifying Flames, and it does so much damage. Just deal like 400 damage, maybe 500 damage. Level 1. I can't do the math right now. 520. Witch Doctor coming out from the Team Google as well, so
Radiant's
revealing their hand with their supports in an early Invoker pick as well. But this can work. They can use the next 2 bans to protect the Invoker, so we don't want to see heroes like TA or Ember Spirit still does okay, I believe. Storm Spirit as well can do pretty well against Invoker. I'm not a mid player myself, so I'm not too familiar with the matchups, so don't quote me, it might be fake
5
news.
seconds remain.
Turn up my in-game audio.
Dire's ban.
Yeah, maybe, I think that's better. Not too sure. Pugna Band coming out of that video, another hero that could do really well against Invoker. Let's be that nuisance with the Decrepify. Witch Doctor kind of was really strong for a little bit, and then they nerfed Maledict at level 1.
Seconds to pick.
All levels except level 4. It kind of scaled back to where level 4 used to be. The cooldown went up from 20 seconds to 50, so that felt really bad. But it's coming back down. I think it's at like 35 right now. Vengeful Spirit Band coming out of the Dire. So the Dire, Team Google, they've picked both of their supports already, so the video only needs to ban cores at this point, whereas the Dire, they need to think about which supports to ban. Banning the Vengeful Spirit, pretty good. Oracle is the save for the side of Google, so they can play very aggressively. They've also got this Witch Doctor due to Restoration to heal up during the False Promise. A lot of healing coming out of the side of Google, looking to play aggressive early on. And this Venge with the Nether Swap can really ruin things and save people from being dove on. And the TA ban coming out of that video makes a lot of sense. You don't want this Invoker to struggle against the TA. Kunkka is still in the pool though, so if Team Google has a pretty good Kunkka player, I think they could do really well against Invoker this game.
5 seconds. Hurry, hurry. Dire team pick.
They banned the Clinks. Clinks, we normally see him as a mid laner, but Invoker is only a mid laner.
Radiant team pick.
They already have their mid. Viper gonna come out. Does okay against the Invoker. I'm not that. I don't think they're gonna be able to kill each other at least. They're gonna just trade farm. We've been seeing Nether Toxin maxed out first from Viper for the last few months. Pretty nice. You can farm the creep waves pretty easily with just one Nether Toxin. You can farm the neutral camps really fast as well. So, been seeing that a lot with the ATOS, because the Viper strike range is really small, so you want the ATOS to start to be able to initiate from a longer range. Now Vidia, maybe looking for an aggressive support like the Tusk to help the Invoker out with the Viper a little bit. That being said, there's not that many heroes that are good against Viper, especially as a raving support. Maybe Earthshaker, double down on that team fight a little bit. They've already got the Invoker as well, so amazing team fight coming out of that video, but also a lot of sustain coming out of Team Google. Viper probably gonna go for the Greaves build this game. Pipe would be perfect as well. Dazzle coming out of that video, so kind of passive supports on the side of that video. Maybe looking to take it late with overwhelming team fight. Not really sure. So this Invoker, if he goes for Exhort, there's going to be no one right now to set up fights. Dazzle can't really start fights himself. The Poison Touch doesn't slow that much. Maybe going for the Quaswex Invoker, trying to get a bit more team fight. Axe, fallen off a little bit recently. The Berserker's Cord gives 30 armor instead of 40 now. We saw him so much about 8 months ago. In the lead up to TI, kind of fell off during TI, except for Seb's amazing performance in the grand finals. Just, I'm not really sure, but it's nice. They have an initiator now. That doesn't have to be the Viper getting the ATOS. And also a nice counter to Dazzle as well. Can use the Culling Blade to kill people during the Shallow Grave. Just eliminating Dazzle's most of Dazzle's utility. We'll see who's going to be the position 5 between Warlock and Dazzle. It's not completely clear. Again, with the Team Google, Oracle and Witch Doctor, not really sure who's going to be the position 4 here. Maybe Witch Doctor with a bit more farm can get in early Ags, but the Sven comes out, so the Warcry against Death Ward, pretty good. It's gonna maybe relegate this Witch Doctor to position 5 now. Get the Oracle and early Spirit Vessel. Could be a good way to go. Sven, a really greedy hero with this Invoker. Still no one to set up any fights. So, what kind of offlaner does Team Google want to ban? Probably a Blink Buyer as well to match the tempo of the axe. Sven can initiate with the Stormbolt once he's got Blink as well, so... but he's the carry, so he doesn't always want to go in first. He wants someone to help, just figure out where everyone else is. And then Sven can come in at the end and clean up with the God Strength. A Magbeg coming out of Team Google. The Empower plus Sven. The splash does more damage than the actual hit itself. So a little bit of a funny combo there. You're better off hitting the other people. Team Google, they've got a lot of carry options. This Axe and Viper can make a lot of space, and they can go for something really greedy if they want. Not a good Spectre game. Drow ban coming out. So this Axe, great at making space at the front, and there's also this Oracle and Witch Doctor to protect her. So it would have been a pretty good Drow game. You can still see Sniper if you want. They have the last pick as well. Sniper, a pretty good, decent hero against Invoker. Maybe we'll see that. From Nvidia, I want to see an Initiator, someone with another AoE stun. Maybe Tidehunter could be okay, but the passive getting broken is kind of rough by the Viper. Maybe a Centaur? Not really gonna get tested. Oh, well, actually, Sniper, probably not a great pick, because you don't want to put the Sniper in the safe lane, usually. It's kind of rough. There's a lot of avenues to get snuck up upon. Nvidia digging into the ends of their reserve time, really thinking about this one. Trying to dot their I's and cross all their T's. The Juggernaut comes out. This is going to be an off-lane Sven. So I like this a lot, actually. The Sven, like I mentioned earlier, can Blink initiate. Stormbolt is AoE, so does fit the bill. The projectile bit makes it a little bit awkward compared to the call. But now he can play aggressive because there's someone else to deal the damage afterwards. And he's gonna get a pretty quick Blink as well. He just put a few points into Greater Cleave, and you go to the jungle and get his Blink in no time. So a pretty strong draft coming out of Nvidia. I think the main problem is this Sven needs to get off to a good start. If he gets pressured a little bit too hard in the lane, then he's gonna fall behind a bit. He can still catch up with the Greater Cleave. But the support duo from Team Google just feel a little bit better. Sure, the Chaos Golem, pretty good, but the downtime is really long. There's the Witch Doctor, the Death Ward just feels like it's always up. Also with his False Promise save, way more effective than the Dazzle. The Dazzle got countered by the Axe pretty hard. So Dazzle not really bringing as much to the table as you would expect. I also thinking a long time about this one. I want to see like a ranged DPS. I think it could go pretty well. Gonna be hard with the Warcry. They're going really deep down to 0 seconds, not quite a random. And the Faceless Void comes out, getting some team fight of their own. And the Viper does decent damage inside the Crane SV. Not the most, especially if we see this Nether Toxin build. Gonna scale the right clicks too much. And the Axe, not very useful in the Crane SV, but gets set up for it pretty nice. And I kind of like the side of Dire a bit more. It just feels a little bit easier to execute. The Chaos Golem is very hit or miss if they start, like, if they're able to get out from the Chaos Golem, like run away from the Chaos Golem, it's pretty much wasted. Can't run from the Chronosphere. So, just a little bit stronger team fight coming out of the Faceless Void, I think. And just generally being a little bit easier to execute. But we'll see how the lanes go. Axe, not going to have a good time against Juggernaut, so not really sure what the game plan is here. They could put the Faceless Void up against the Juggernaut. You can always time walk away from that spin. The Axe against the Sven, that would be pretty nice for the Axe. Or is getting those free spin procs from the cleave damage as well. And let's hop into the game. So we've got the free camera going. So on the side of
Another beautiful day in
names.
Dota land.
Let me bring up my prompt. Alright, Nvidia. It's so much easier when you cast like a real game and you've got the name tags. So on the side of Nvidia, Billy Zibbons on the Warlock. Got Nethemo Fantera on the Invoker. Old Man Barmer on the Sven. Cracklenaut on the Juggernaut, so he is ready with the name. And Timson H. Huang on the Dazzle. On the side of Google, we've got TypeScript on the Viper. Man, I have such good FPS with this new 2080 Ti. With a subtle plug from Nvidia, always got to get that free advertising in. And Witch Doctor is not impressed. Do not want on the Axe. Dota Noob on the Witch Doctor. Probably is not going to be a noob. Zero on the Faceless Void and Tonka on the Oracle. So probably not a whole lot of action going on in these early bounty runes. Not really a way to stop the Axe. Oh, just there's no stuns on the bottom lane. It's also there's a Stormbolt, so they may be able to go for the bounty rune, but probably not going to go for it. And these
God, I really hope this
tech
match ends up
employees
being
just
of
selling
any
their
cosmic
products.
significance.
Just casually selling their products to the other team. See how these blocks go. Invoker getting a decent block so far. Viper missed his block completely, so it could be a little bit rough for the Viper. He's gonna have to attack up the hill. Might get that missed chance. The range creep ends up on top of the hill. Good stuff from the Invoker. It'd be pretty annoying for the Viper to go for last hits. He does get the range creep though, so pretty lucky. Poison Touch onto the Faceless Void. Poison Touch is pretty good against Faceless Void. His Faceless Void is very good against burst damage, but not this damage over time that Dazzle offers. Of course, the Poison Touch has been nerfed pretty hard time after time. The mana cost has gone up by a lot. The cast range has gone down by a lot. And I think the damage is still the same, I believe. Bot lane, gonna be a bit of a farm fest so far. I guess they've got this Voodoo Restoration to help the Axe if he gets spun upon. It can kind of tank through the Blade Fury, maybe until Jug gets level 5. That's quite a while away, this dual lane. The Axe pretty free in this lane, I suppose. Going a bit better than I expected. So Invoker 6 and 4 already. This early game block gave him such a huge advantage. 7 and 4 against a 3 and 0 from Viper. So great start for the Invoker already. Almost a full level ahead of the Viper already. He's Juggernaut getting punched down by the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor, he's okay. The Shadow Word will come out, but he's out of mana already. Only has enough mana to cast 3 Shadow Words before he's out of mana. Gonna have to hide in the trees to get some mana back from the clarity. Gonna not show himself for a while because this Witch Doctor, his attack animation is a little bit clunky, but he's gonna hit you. It's kind of feels like he shouldn't, but he does. Fatal Bonds comes out onto the 2 heroes, but not really that effective. That wastes a lot of mana. Fast Viper starting with a crown, but not starting with 2 crowns, as we sometimes see. Sorry, a crown and 3 branches, as we sometimes see from like Matumba Bland. Going for this Nether Toxin build, so very meta, very modern Viper build. And top lane, they get Faceless Void gets a kill. No, the Dazzle kills the Faceless Void. Yeah, okay, that makes a bit more sense. I kind of felt like this could happen. The Dazzle with the Poison Touch is really obnoxious, and the time walk's not going to help against the Poison Touch. Once he uses it, Sven can just go for a stun. Level 1 a time walk, pretty long cooldown, 24 seconds. Top lane, not too much happening. This Invoker earning this Viper so hard. Actually, all of the cores on the side of Team Nvidia, they're doing pretty well. And this Dazzle is actually the core. It's going to be the positions for Sven. So an early Greaves going to come out of the side of Dazzle. So looking to tank up his team a bit more instead of looking for the initiation. This way they can just run at them with the Greaves and the Warcry. Maybe Sven might go for a Vlad's instead of a Blink as well. I wouldn't mind seeing that. That'd be pretty cool. Viper forced to retreat to the jungle already, but he does have level 2 in the Nether Toxin, so should be able to farm this pretty fast as well. So one of the benefits of Viper is that you can do this jungle thing. Gets the double stack as well, pretty cool. Gonna save that for later. I think he saw the Arcane Rune there, so he's gonna leave that for when he wants to go to the jungle. Maybe push this wave out with the Nether Toxin, and then go back to the jungle. If you push the wave in, it's going to be under the enemy. Your wave is going to be under the enemy tower, and the mid laner, he's got to stay there. He won't be able to chase you or leave the lane because he wants to get that experience. Yeah, so Viper grabbing the Arcane Rune, dropping another Toxin for that juicy mana cost reduction and cooldown reduction. We'll see if he just goes back to the jungle. Gonna stay for another wave maybe. So I don't know if this is the best idea. He's going back to the jungle now. The stack timing is almost up. Also, the 5-minute boundaries are almost up. Sunstrike kills the Shadow Shaman. So nice heads-up play from the Invoker. It's actually very important that you get these Sunstrike kills. Or like, what I should say is, if you go for the Sunstrike skills, you have to get them. Sunstrike costs like 2/3 of Invoker's mana pool. So you gotta make these count. A nice start for the Invoker. Really far ahead of the Viper. Already 1,000 gold ahead of the Viper. The spin comes out onto the Axe, but the Axe, he doesn't really care, he just walks it off. Gotta go back to base instead of using the Shrine, so a little bit odd. And the Faceless Void goes down again. A bit of a disaster coming out from the side of Google already. Nvidia already 3k gold ahead. A Poison Touch onto the Oracle, and this Core Dazzle paying off pretty well. Doesn't have any stat items, but this Oracle, he's gonna go down. Not much that the Oracle can do to save himself. And yeah, Nvidia's owning here. All 3 cores from the side of Nvidia, top of the net worth chart. This Faceless Void, how many last hits does he have? He's only got 8 last hits, 6 minutes into the game. And this Axe is also dead break. He's only got 6 last hits to his name. Yeah, everyone on the side of Team Google in Poverty Land.
Top tower is being attacked.
3 heroes at bot. Not gonna be able to do anything against this Junking. Just spin out. You can hear the Fortune's End charge up. He doesn't spin it off. Does take the damage, but he's gonna get healed up anyway by the Warlock. Warlock out of mana though. Buys himself 2 clarities. Feels bad. Viper with the double damage room. He's a level behind the Invoker. Cold Snap, Tornado, but there's not much any more damage coming out from the side of Invoker. He's also out of mana, so maybe the Whirlwind, not the best call. Or if he went for the Whirlwind into Chaos Meteor, would have been a bit better, and not use the Cold Snap. more damage coming out that way. But probably still not enough to kill the Viper. He's got 2 points in the corrosive skin, so a pretty decent amount of magic resist already, 38%. Jug, we'll see what he wants to go for. He must feel that his team is pretty far ahead. It's 4-0, but it feels way worse than that, honestly. Already a 3k gold lead. And they had this 3k gold lead a while ago. So yeah, it looks like he's going to queue up the Battle Fury. Going for a Demon Edge at least, so not really sure what else he could go. He could go for an MKB, which doesn't really help that much this game. No evasion anytime soon. He could go for a Divine Rapier, but again, kind of odd. Sven coming in for a rotation on the Viper. Viper walking his way, but Sven doesn't want to mess with the Viper by himself, and the Invoker's too far to help. Could maybe go for a Sunstrike kill, but Invoker's out of mana. And probably was able to communicate that to his team. Jug goes for a spin, tries to spin defensively. He's still got the Maledict, but he's going to heal up all the way. He acts getting healed up with a salve. They're giving him everything. Look at all those. He had 3 heals going at the same time. Sven looking for the Viper. He's going to cancel the salve, so definitely feels bad. Sunstrike's going to come out, but I don't know if this Sven has enough damage. The Atos already out on the Viper. He could have gone for a Viper Strike and maybe... If Sven keeps chasing... Yeah, if he walked down that hill, he would have died. Faceless Void hitting the jungle already. Still no boots. Gonna rush a Mask of Madness. So I think it makes sense. You should at least get brown boots for the movement speed, I think. Maybe you just gotta go for the Morbid Mask first so he can juggle a bit safer. He's bought 2 salves, so feeling the pressure from the neutral creeps already.
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
Jug gonna go for the Battle Fury. I don't think this Faceless Void could ever go for a Battle Fury at this point. Dazzle, already level 7, he's just gonna bully this Faceless Void out. That Poison Touch did so much damage.
Shall not.
Fortune's End and a Purifying Flame comes out, but another heal onto the Juggernaut. He's got pretty nice sustain. Goes for a call. There's a lot of creeps nearby. He's going for a lot of spins, but the spin from the Juggernaut isn't quite able to save the axe with the Fate's Edict, unfortunately. The Omni Slash comes out and they get the Oracle as well. So nice kills from bottom lane for the side of Nvidia, and Invoker gets a solo kill. The Sven came and helped out. He got the kill on the Witch Doctor. It's going to be 4 baddie runes going the way of Nvidia. So off to a great start. 6k gold lead now. 3k gold advantage and a pretty high Dota Plus probability to win. And I gotta agree. Faceless Void going forward, gets Sunstrike, he almost goes down. We'll see if the Dazzle wants to turn the rest. He's got the Poison Touch on the Faceless Void, and he's gonna go down. The Dazzle will pay for it with his life. He can spin TP, he can break TP. There's no call for 10 seconds. The Chaos Golem goes down, and oh, it's from the Warlock, so to help his teammate get out. The Chaos Golem's here now. Sven is here as well. Another Atos onto the Sven. He gets caught, he's gonna go down. We'll see if this Warlock can gonna get out. It looks like he'll be fine. There's only 1 point in the poison attack, so not that much slow yet.
Taking damage.
Sunstrike again gets the axe kill. Great stuff for Invoker. And they will farm up the Chaos Golem. Jug almost got his Demon Edge. He's gonna go for it first. A spin forward, but not able to connect onto the Oracle. Oracle, I guess, is a pretty fast hero. Not really sure how the Jug couldn't catch up there. Radiate get the T1 tower with Catapult. It feels good. A very important tower to take. Invoker Midas has got a point booster already, and he's on his way to an Axe. We might see it in like a couple minutes. He's doing really well. Sven going for a Vlad's as I expected, so they really want to group up early with this Dazzle Greaves and just put on the pressure. Another touch onto the Oracle, but she doesn't have Poison Touch. Credit Speed's gonna come out onto 3 heroes, but they don't have any damage to follow up. The Sven, they're gonna go for the Sven. It's not the tankiest hero. A Grave comes out onto the Sven. There's no level 6 on the axe yet, so they can't get the kill. Fortune's End will stop the Sven, and Sven will go down to the Oracle, I guess? I thought we would have gone down to Battle Hunger. I don't know if they can get any more. Axe going really deep. He's got -4 armor from the Dazzle. Gets hit one more time. The negative Shadow Word comes out, and the Poison Touch will kill the Axe as well. Unfortunately, didn't manage to get the Viper with the same Poison Touch, so Viper will get away pretty scot-free. Jug's coming back in. He's got Omni Slash still. He has an Arcane Rune, so he really wants to use it to get that reduced cooldown. And I gotta say, it'd be pretty big. It's also pretty hard to time walk off the Omni Slash. It feels like mid-bounce, then he'll still bounce to where you're gonna go. It's kind of odd. Alright, Jug going in, goes for the spin onto the Faceless Void. The Faceless Void getting really low. He got Poison Touch, he's in trouble. Omni Slash comes out onto the Witch Doctor and the Axe. He will end up getting the Witch Doctor with some nice RNG. And they're gonna disengage and take this, go back to take this T1 bot. Sven giving himself a little bit time. He felt like he wasn't needed there, I suppose. His TP was also on cooldown, so wasn't able to join his team, but he's pretty close to a Vlad's now. Only a couple hundred gold away now. Jug already got the Demon Edge. About 1400, 1600 gold away from the Battle Fury, so nice timing coming out on the Jug. And Invoker, he's owning so hard. Already halfway to the Axe. Another Poison Touch comes out onto the Axe. And the Healing Ward, the Dazzle, the Shadow Word. There's so much sustain coming out from the side of Team Nvidia. Sven isn't even here. They feel fearless 4v5. Viper will ATOS the Invoker, put down another Toxin to scare him away a little bit. Gonna wait to see this Invoker get Axe. A kill onto bot. They get 3 kills on the side of Nvidia. They don't even have anyone to initiate. They just drop the rock and they go. Dazzle probably got a 3-man Poison Touch, and it was like, it's time to go, boys. Omni Slash not even used. He has it now. He used it earlier with an Arcane Rune, so it came off cooldown a lot faster than you would expect. I wonder if the side of Google are ready for it. If they see the Jug, they might think he still doesn't have it. But not looking to make any moves with the Omni Slash yet. Trying to farm up his Battle Fury. He's pretty close. Couple hundred gold away now. And Invoker also looking for his Midas. So this game might slow down a little bit. Down to your runes, 15 minutes. No one going for them yet. It looks like they want to push this mid tier 1 tower. Catapult Wave is going to be the next wave. Dazzle able to clear the Creep Wave with this Shadow Wave Poison Touch combo, so it feels pretty good. Depending on how the creeps stack up. They see the Witch Doctor. They see that Jug started spinning. Witch Doctor just walks past 3 heroes, but he will eventually go down. Kratos V onto 2 heroes, but there's no damage to follow up. Viper's not there yet. The Nether Toxin comes down, but the Omni Slash onto the Faceless Void. The Faceless Void will go down. Axe TP is in, but he's got nothing. He doesn't have a Blink Dagger. Spin will come out from the Juggernaut. He's feeling pretty brave, but gonna have to run away now. The Fortune's End's gonna come out, but they don't have any damage left. The Healing Ward manages to get away. Chaos Meteor comes down, but misses everyone. And there's so much sustain from the side of Nvidia. They don't need to back out. Sven wasn't even there the whole time. He's got his Vlads down. So a bit more damage, a bit of sustains coming out from the Sven. And this Warcry as well can help take up his team. It's only a level 1 Warcry, but they're gonna have the stun that they so desperately needed. This Invoker has been the one to lock people down. That's why we haven't seen anyone die. There's still no Chaos Golem for a few 40 seconds. Warlock's got a Midas now, so he's feeling pretty good. Dazzle almost got a Greaves as well, so they're just gonna back up, pick up their items. Invoker almost got an Axe as well. Probably just wait for that. I'm actually really surprised they didn't just sit back and farm their items. But nice aggressive moves coming out from Nvidia. And I want to see the Sven go for a blink next. I think they really need some initiation. Something to set up the like tornado for Invoker, and then they can just collapse onto the enemy team after they come down from the tornado. These Faceless Void ultis, they just haven't done very much. He still doesn't have a Mask of Madness, so pretty low damage coming out of the Faceless Void. And there's only the Viper that can hit into the Chronosphere. Sure, there's the Oracle nukes. Witch Doctor and Faceless Void used to be a pretty notorious combo, and then they made it so the Death Ward can't attack inside Chronosphere now. So if Witch Doctor is positioned right, he can get a good Death Ward off, but we haven't seen it happen yet. Maybe relying a bit too hard on the wombo combos. Midas coming out for the Warlock now. Hasn't used it yet, but this range creep is going to feel pretty juicy when it comes up. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, okay. He gets like a third of a level from that. Insane. Oracle has to heal herself. Force the false promise. Won't die yet. The ball on top represents whether or not she's going to take damage afterwards or not. And was healing herself up the whole time, so she'll be okay. But we'll end up dying to the Dazzle. Dazzle just on a rampage. He's just running at people. We can stick already. Don't normally see that on a Dazzle. He's chasing the Witch Doctor. He's going to be able to get the solo kill on the Witch Doctor. So we'll see what the rest of Team Google tries to do to protect him. He's going to go down to the Poison Touch. Beauty Restoration, not going to help you against that. Axe still doesn't have a blink yet. He's 1k gold away, but even after he gets the blink, he's going to be really squishy still. Only plus 30 armor and a level 1 call, so it isn't going to last that long either. Yeah, this Team Google, they're in a lot of trouble. 18k gold behind.
Radiant sure are loving those invulnerable towers. Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
Warcry gonna come out, help to take the tower a little bit. Nice call. Gonna drag the Invoker and the Dazzle back a little bit. The Nether Toxin will come out now. It's gonna be a little bit annoying. But again, still no Blink Dagger. He's just gonna walk up and he gets Poison Touch. A nice Chronosphere comes out onto T-Hero, but the Tornado comes out and they're gonna instantly kill the Faceless Void. He has buyback, but no Chronosphere, so not gonna be that useful. Omni Slash comes out onto the Axe and they will get the kill. Juggernaut managing to leech a little bit of life as well with that Vlad's Aura. Putting down the healing ward to heal back up to full. And they're gonna keep going this Nvidia. They're feeling unstoppable. They've got so much sustain. 2 buybacks come out from the side of Google already. Faceless Void gonna wait out the buyback, but there's not much he can do. Atos on the Dazzle, but not gonna do much. The Tornado onto the Axe misses the Ice Wall completely, so it feels a little bit bad there. They're gonna take the racks. There's not much that the side of Google can do. Stormbolt onto the Axe, forces the false promise already, so a little bit premature. Gonna get the call, the God Strength on the Sven. Faceless Void gets Sunstrike and Deafening Blast and he'll just die. He still has buyback. Nice Death Ward coming out of the Witch Doctor will finally push them back, but he loses a racks for it. 2 buybacks as well, and now Nvidia 22k gold ahead. They were 18k gold ahead before this fight started. Gonna get the shrines as well. Probably gonna go back for the Roche now. Good to travel coming out in the Invoker, so he just wants to like split push and then still be able to join the fight. He just wants to keep farming. You really want those levels on Invoker. All of his spells scale until he gets level 25. One of the few heroes who doesn't feel like he actually gets stronger between level 20 and level 25. Tesla going for an A on disc. Probably doesn't need this. He should just go for like a Desolator or something, or a Solo Crest. Just buff up this Juggernaut to the point where he's going to be unkillable. Some minus armor would be pretty nice against the enemy team. Viper, not a very high armor hero. He's going for a Greaves now. He's pretty close, but I don't know how much it's going to help. Axe. 500 gold away from his blink. The Sven managed to get a blink before the Axe did, so that's quite the sign how far behind Axe is. This lane against Juggernaut just didn't go well. I kind of expected it to not go too well, so would have liked to see maybe a switch up in the lanes from the side of Google, but well, what can you do? Maybe trying to stick to more stable lanes. I don't know about this Aeon disc. It's a little bit odd. If I could go for a Blink next, get into a good positions for better spells, and a Glimmer Cape on the Warlock as well. Another way to just help save teammates. Gonna be really hard to kill anyone on the side of Nvidia. Oh, Arcane Rune on the Dazzle feels so good, especially with this bad Juju cooldown reduction. It's so low. This Greaves has a 14-second cooldown. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if you can use it like that. I think there's like a cooldown on using the Greaves, but I think it also scales. Yeah, it scales with the Greaves, so Greaves every 14 seconds right now, pretty obscene. Omni Slash onto the Faceless Void, but manages to time walk at the right time to not let the Jug follow. Good dodging from the Faceless Void there. Another Poison Touch onto two heroes. Will purge it off instantly at least. Faceless Void going forward, gets the Chrono onto two, but again, there's no follow-up damage. He's gonna get Storm Bolted, Chaos Meteor, Sunstrike will miss, but it'll eventually go down. Chaos Meteor also grabs the axe. There's no buyback on those two heroes, and this Viper, he's gonna go down too after this False Promise, and it's getting pretty low. The Death Ward does come out, and the Jug, he's getting pretty low. He will end up going down to the Witch Doctor. 923 gold for the Witch Doctor, but he's pretty far away from an Aghanim Scepter to be useful. Buyback from the Faceless Void, but he doesn't have Chronosphere still. He already used it, he completely wasted it. Doesn't even have his Master of Madness yet. They're really in the dumpster. But yeah, they're just gonna go for the third Brax. They don't even need the Jug, apparently. No fear coming out from the side of Nvidia. I'd like to see the Alacrity on the Chaos Scope. I think that'd be pretty cool, but we're not gonna see it. Bash onto the Invoker. He's gonna get another Bash, but this point, he's getting really low. Witch Doctor is getting really low as well. He's gonna go down to the Fatal Bond. Viper Strike onto the Dazzle. Can they get this? Oh, the Aeon Disc paying off. It won't dispel the slow. The Sunstrike comes out, but Faceless Void will manage to dodge it in time. So, luckily not dying back here, but they're going for their Invoker. The only one who's focused on the objective for his team. So, good stuff from him. And Juggernaut is back, baby. Atos onto the Invoker. But this Jug, he just doesn't care. Who's gonna kill this Jug now? There's still no Chronosphere for 38 seconds. Minus still on cooldown from the Dazzle, so unforgivable. They're clearing out the creep wave really fast though. Shadow Word onto the Faceless Void. A nice Invoker combo instantly kills the Axe. The Face Eating comes out onto the Viper, will save him from the Chaos Meteor dot damage. They're gonna take Megas. And they're gonna go for more. They're feeling pretty unstoppable, but even if they get team wiped here, there's Mega Creeps. So this game pretty much over right now. We're just gonna see how long it's gonna take. The Fortune's End comes out onto the Invoker, but won't be able to finish him off. Stormbolt onto the Faceless Void. He gets a Chronosphere. There's finally a bit of flop, and they won't even get the Invoker. The Invoker gets so low, but then he gets Shallow Grave. There's no Axe right now. Deafening Blast will finish off the Faceless Void. He tried to follow him in. Omni Slash will push back the three heroes left on the side of Team Google. Going for the throne. This game is pretty much over. Nice. Axe finally gets his blink. He gets a 3-hero blink call, but it's just not enough. And a great game coming out of Nvidia. A complete stomping. They won all 3 lanes pretty effectively. Well, this damage coming out of the Dazzle, the highest damage on his team. Just with that Poison Touch, that everlasting dot damage, just feels like... it just feels so terrible to go up against Dazzle. And it also did a ton of healing as well. Was that 8,000 damage healed? So, just great stuff from that video all around.